And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruby and this is my review for Amazon's original series, The Boys Season 3. Now I'm not going to do a whole season review. I'm going to do the first 3 episodes and then as they get to their weekly releases, because Amazon are dropping first 3 on Friday and then they're doing weekly, I will do a couple of days before. I will do episodic minor breakdowns, minor spoilers. I'll give you warnings as they come out and we can talk about those together. So for now, it's an overview of the series. But the first 3 specifically, let's jump in. It's been a year of calm. Homelander subdued. Butcher works for the government, supervised by Hughie of all people. Both men itch to turn this peace and quiet into blood and bone. So when the boys learn of a mysterious anti-Supe weapon, it sends them crashing into the Seven, starting a war and chasing the legend of the first superhero, Soldier Boy. When I first saw the trailers beginning for their kind of campaign of this is what we're going to get for season 3, the thing that got me most excited, apart from seeing all our superheroes and our team trying to beat the superheroes, because of the inclusion of Soldier Boy, because I love Supernatural, so I was eager to see what that actor would do with the role of Soldier Boy. Don't get your hopes up though, because you're not going to see that much of him in the first few episodes. He really debuts properly in later episodes. You do get some, but not a lot. So, put that in your back pocket. This is based off a comic. I think it's an award-winning New York Times best-selling comic by Gareth Ennis and let's not forget Derek Robinson. And it's a creative team. Eric Kripke, Seth Rogen, yes, that's Seth Rogen. So we know the talented team that's behind this. And if you've enjoyed season 1 and season 2, then you will come to expect a certain amount of gore, craziness, and this weird banter between our characters. So especially Butcher and his team, Butcher and Hughie. It's part of the thing that I've come to love with Butcher and Hughie. They have this weird banter going back and forth. You will experience a tonal shift for season 3. I feel like a lot of seasons of TV, especially the supernatural fantasy type of ones, the tonal shift is, I don't know, there is maybe a zeitgeist where we've gone, okay, we've gone through a hell of a couple of years with COVID. We're not going to do kind of comedy, we're just going to be serious about it. So now we have The Boys, a superhero series that has been serious, but we had that banter. This time around, it's pretty serious. So we have the gore, the weird kind of sex moments that you see, the weird kind of superhero moments that take things that you're not expecting to see or used in everyday life. They have that still in season 3. Even in the first 3 episodes, you see things that you're probably going to be like, damn, I would never have expected to see that on TV. But then there's none of this kind of banter. Things are for real now. Not that they weren't before. There's just this shift in tone. And that might make you a little bit uneasy. It might take you a couple of episodes to get back into the series. I think once you start seeing what they're going for this time round, you're going to be very interested in what they're going to do with the how do we beat Homelander. And the series is once again all about Homelander. It kind of always has been. But the team is reeling from what has happened at the end of season 2. They went into battle, but they had some losses on their own. Homelander had his own losses. Vought are trying to recoup some of their PR because of their Nazi person, and Homelander is reeling from what has happened, he's lost, and so now he is unraveling even more. Like, if you thought he was scary because his psyche was breaking down within the first 2 seasons, this time round it's all about that. He just kind of loses the plot step by step. You never know what he's going to do, who he's going to kill, how he's going to lash out, or what his response is going to be. And I think that's part of the fun of watching the series, because you have someone like Superman with all those powers. It's all like Homelander and. So Homelander and Vought. It's interesting to see where the storyline goes within the first 3 episodes. Vought is in a very different place this season. Homelander and Butcher, they're always having that altercation. They've met a few times. We're going to see them meet and what that means for the series going on. We have Homelander's son, Ryan. That's interesting because we've seen that Butcher's been dealing with the son and their relationship. Obviously, we have our favorites. For me, Kimiko has been one of the most interesting adds to the team. And this season, I feel like Kimiko and Frenchie are almost the heart of the story, and we need that because there's a lot of kind of drama, there's a lot of I'm gonna kill you, I hate you, and there's a lot of mission orientated focus, but it doesn't seem to be a lot of heart. There are these team ups. You have Starlight and Hughie, but they don't actually have that much time together. You do see them together, but most of the time we have the two splits because Starlight is on her team, which she's kind of like undercover. And now we have Hughie. We see him again progress from where he starts off, thinking that he has everything together and things are working well, but very quickly things spiral out of control as the story arc pushes them into an altercation with our hero enemies, Homelander. The Deep is a character I love to hate because every time you see him slightly redeeming himself, he will do something that will just make you shake your head and go, why is he still around? I really dislike this character. And I would say that A-Train has been like that for me as well. There is a sort of redeeming arc that is starting to creep up there for A-Train, but you'll never get to a point where you're like, why don't you actually just take that step forward? Because A-Train has always been that kind of out for himself. He'll look out for himself, and most of the characters of the Seven do. The Deep story, though, is one that I go, oh, I feel sorry for you there for a moment, and then I'm like, I can't believe you just did that. You suck. And that continues in this. I know a lot of people want to know about Black Noir. We do get some backstory for him, moments that kind of reveal an arc or a history about him, which I really appreciated, that kind of cements who he is. I was talking about the heart of the show. We have the heart of the team for the good guys, which is Mother's Milk. And there's this kind of conversation that happens in one of the episodes between Butcher and Mother's Milk, and Butcher tries to explain to Mother's Milk the reason why he's on the team and why they need him is because Butcher realizes that the stuff that he has to do to push the team to get the results often makes him be like the bad guy, the monster, sometimes worse than the heroes. And they need Butcher, well, they need Mother's Milk to be the one to kind of stop the team from imploding, from going their separate ways, from everybody going, no, I can't handle what Butcher's up to. I know I need to kind of save the day and be here to stop Homelander from wrecking the entire world. He is kind of the heart of the team. Unfortunately, the Seven don't have that heart. They're all kind of trying to survive Homelander's fury, either out for themselves or for other people, but everybody's just creeping around on eggshells around Homelander, and that is consistent. Some people are using that to their advantage, and when we see Homelander, it's interesting that it often pokes fun at society in the fantasy world and our world. So whatever he is talking about, what he is saying, is sometimes a reflection back at what's happening in our world, and coming from him, that is quite funny. I don't know if you've seen some of the marketing for this, as often is quite funny. It's like, hey, this is what we represent and this is how it reflects back at us. They do that in their marketing, but Homelander is kind of that marketing thing for Vought. But now that he has a voice of his own in this season, sort of, it's interesting to see what they're saying through this. So definitely has a theme. It's never preachy. It's just kind of having fun with it. There are some interesting cameos in this. I think that you will be surprised by who's in this, or maybe not surprised by. There are moments that will really stand out to you. It's gory and over the top. There are moments where you get these kind of superhero moments that you don't expect. Like, I should expect them by now, but you don't quite believe that you're seeing what you're seeing. There are those moments there again. I don't think it's quite as outrageous as we've seen in like moments of season 1 and season 2, especially. One scene kind of creeps into mind, but there are definitely those that'd be like, whoa there. It definitely is going to hype up the kind of storyline arc. I feel like this season is almost that, here's story, we're building that. Soldier Boy for me has been really interesting. I've really enjoyed him. I think the first 3 episodes might take a couple of people, those first 2, to kind of get into, remind yourself what you're watching, especially the tonal shift of it. But you'll understand once they start getting to that arc and the moments that you really enjoy. Look out for my episodic kind of breakdown reviews of further episodes. Let me know how excited you are about this season. Who's your favorite character? Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.